Andrew Wilson triggers the woke liberals in a massively heated debate, which is from the TikTok invasion, where Andrew Wilson doesn't necessarily trigger them, but instead they're triggered by a false assumption and false claim that Andrew Wilson was accused of making from a previous debate on voting rights and stuff. Where also talked about identity politics as well as the woke ideology. So it basically turned into a confrontation, excuse me, a controversial confrontation. Okay, so here is Andrew Wilson triggering the woke liberals right here in this heated debate from the TikTok invasion. Let's go ahead and get right into it.
With two, America was never great. I often hear this.
All of its people.
Yeah, I often hear this from progressives, but I always just ask a single question, and I haven't actually had a progressive answer it yet. Can you name any country you ever thought was great?
Yeah, I would. Oh, there would be none.
Yeah, there's not. So there's none, right? So just every place is horrible.
Like the temptation.
Why are we yelling?
Wow.
Just
that if
because,
a place is not
guys, yeah, Lily. Just because one person, like, just because the country, just because the country and other countries are not great, does not take away the fact that America also isn't great. If you have 5 in front of you, right, and you say none of these are great, and you say, have any of them been great? It doesn't take away the fact that this certain country or this certain person is not a great person. It does not take away the fact just because none of them have been.
Well, if no country...
Hold on.
Okay.
When you look at July 4th, 1776...
You mute, you lose.
I'm speaking? Anyways, you're not... I'm not...
Yeah, I know, but you're always speaking.
Anyways.
You mute, you lose.
Sorry, that really caught me off guard. When you look at July 4th, 1776, when America, like, I forgot the word, declared itself a country, and you look at who was free at the time, you would see that you had to be a rich white man to be free. Then we look at the 80s, when Ronald Reagan tokened, shush, do not laugh at me, tokened the phrase, make America great again. What was going on during the 80s? Horrible things. What time period did he want America to go back to? I'm not talking present day, because present day, a lot of disenfranchised groups have a lot of rights that back then they did not have. So when I speak I'm not speaking current day. I'm speaking 1990s and before.
Oh my God.
Nothing after that.
Dude.
Okay, so before I continue, this debate began with a bold yet simple question. If America was never great, name a country that was. That single question stumped everyone on the panel, and they danced around it, deflected, and got emotional because deep down they couldn't provide an honest answer. That question was asked by Wilson himself. Now, Wilson's point wasn't that America is perfect, it's that progressives actually constantly tear it down without ever offering a viable alternative. Okay, so that's basically bitterness wrapped in a bunch of buzzwords. But when one girl tried to cite July 4th of 1776, as well as Ronald Reagan and stuff as reasons America wasn't great, she actually completely missed the point. Now, Andrew was simply trying to have a conversation about ideals and progress. Instead, they went on ahead and pulled out cherry-picked historical grievances and simply acted like no progress had been made. But Wilson cut through the noise where America, despite its flaws, is still one of the few places where people fight for their free speech and individual liberty. But even if some use that freedom to bash the country itself, that irony was completely lost on them. Okay, so basically it's actually easy if some use that freedom to bash the country itself, but the irony was completely lost on them. So it's easier to shout out oppression than to acknowledge opportunity itself.
Dude, he brought like his whole group with him, bro.
The stuff you say.
You went to go see the stuff that he was saying?
Do you believe what you're saying is a true dichotomy? Do you believe that just because we're saying a country isn't great, simplicator, that just means that there's no other way than like awful? You think it's either great or awful, and you think that's a true dichotomy? Yes.
No, that wasn't my dichotomy.
And I hope you
Okay,
guys
so
know
what's
when
the
you guys send
dichotomy?
him gifts, I really get
You
more than
think there's a
50%
true
of it,
dichotomy
bro.
about how
That wasn't my dichotomy. So it's just a straw man.
I don't like the crowd that he
What
brought
was the
with him.
dichotomy you made?
Neither do I, but here we are.
Yeah. So
Look
so
up,
do you,
look up Andrew Wilson, bro.
They're
so
narcissists.
so anyway.
Oh,
So
he also said that women can benefit from being SA. Just wanted to
that never happened.
No.
I have to.
Y'all see what she did right there? The same girl who tried to answer the question about how was America never great, and she brought up those cherry picked historical references and stuff. She went on ahead to change the subject to false accusations against Andrew Wilson. You see, that's what people on the left always does and stuff. Whenever, their claims aren't really backed up or they can't finish off their points and prove the evidence of their points, they go ahead and either resort to, as you all know it, insulting the opponents or bringing up stuff that they said in the past, then that was taken way out of context and stuff. So basically, she's shown that she has basically lost her footing, and well, the fact that she's not really victorious in this debate against Andrew Wilson and stuff. And simply put, Andrew Wilson doesn't even have to say much for her to go ahead and make herself look like a fool. Okay. And the fact of the matter is that she's doing this to Andrew Wilson, well, says a lot about her, that she being I guess a young woman and everything in her early 20s or probably around 19 or 20 or something, shows how much informed or how much knowledge that she actually has. And her ignorance is really showing.
The clip in front of
Play
me.
it.
What are you talking about?
Play the clip.
Ooh, play the
Okay,
clip.
But if you play the clip, can you actually listen to what I have to say about it?
For certain people.
No, it's bad for everyone.
No, it's only bad for certain people. Here, like there's women, you agree, who have during
Lunar.
Nothing to do with
What the?
Dude,
whether it's
Yeah,
essay.
that's
playing the
him.
full clip.
This is
I
rough.
hate Andrew Wilson, but you're not playing
What
the
do you
full
mean
clip.
play the full clip, dude?
There's no
Yuck.
amount of
The fuck
justice
do you mean?
that can
Hold on, guys.
It was the
You can't-
other guy
you
that
can't
made
cuss
that
on
argument.
panel, but I don't like.
If you
So-
literally just give me a couple of minutes, I can explain the context, and I think you guys will agree with
I
me.
don't think
I
he
don't
knows.
want
Watch
to
the
get any
whole
worse.
podcast, bro.
I
watched
didn't
the-
ask you to watch the whole podcast. You said if you want the actual context and you're willing to let me give an accounting for it, I'm happy to do so.
Well, why when your
Wait, let's
contract
wait. I want
that's
even
fair.
if, hey guys, even if we
Wait,
disagree,
Luna's here. Luna's here.
Guys,
Yeah, I'm
bro.
I
guys, even if
accepted
we
Lunar.
disagree, even if we
Okay.
disagree with what Andrew has to say, I want to
Yeah.
hear what his mindset
wait,
is behind this
okay.
statement. that he
Everybody mute up. Let's hear this bigot.
Yeah.
Let's see what he's cooking.
Let's see.
Okay, mute. Everybody mute. Go ahead, Andrew.
I don't gotta do
Okay,
Right.
so I'll give you an accounting. So here's what happened in the context of that debate. My opposition, when he was trying to say most people, kept on giving a red herring by saying, well, some people. So I challenged his logic by saying, if that's the case, then somebody could make the claim, oh, well, only some people don't enjoy SA. And he agreed. He was like, you're right. Actually, that is a red herring. And so what you see in that clip is me mocking him for taking that position. That's me mocking him for taking that position. If you watch the debate, it's very clear to everybody. But on TikTok, feminists decided to only clip that part as though I wasn't mocking the guy. It's bizarre.
Made it weird already. See?
Now, the moment they brought up the clip of Andrew supposedly saying women could benefit from being, the whole thing turned into a dishonest hit job. Okay, so Andrew calmly explained that he was mocking the other guy's faulty logic during the debate itself, and yet the woke mob up here ran with the bad faith edit, known full well that the internet would never check the context. I mean, this is exactly what happens when outrage becomes more valuable than truth. Okay, so Andrew didn't back down at all. You see, he confronted the lie head on and demanded that they actually listen. But of course, most of them didn't want to. Okay, so yeah, basically, the whole exchange proves how progressives use selective outrage and stuff to avoid substance. Well, they didn't want to hear his clarification. They just wanted to brand him as problematic and simply move on. Now, Andrew Wilson had receipts, context, and logic, and they had TikTok edits and a short attention span, basically. It's telling that one of the loudest critics in the chat said, let's hear this bigot and stuff before even hearing what he had to say. That's not a conversation right now. That's just a trial with the verdict that was already written.
You were cooking for a second, and then it became feminist. Bro, you were cooking for 1 second.
I can give you the feminist. I can give you the feminist accounts that did. No, you didn't watch the whole thing, or you. No, you didn't.
Andrew, I clipped that for you, by the way. I recorded and clipped that for you, by the way. Because I just thought that was interesting. I thought it was interesting.
Wait.
I might not agree or
Lily,
disagree.
Lucario is in the queue. Who do I draw?
Oh my god, let Lucario up.
Hey,
La
hey.
Flamme, I'm so sorry. Adios.
Keeping Andrew up here is crazy. Okay.
Real
I'm
quick,
gonna why not?
Hey, host. I have something to say about part of the prompt too, and in what just happened just
Okay,
now. in this
Lucario.
chat.
Okay, wait,
Uh,
Avis. Lucario, this is a crazy ass man.
Yeah, what have I said crazy? That's crazy.
Bro,
Let her
Let's
finish.
not.
She's
Let's
cooking.
not, bro. Let's not, bro.
What have I said that's crazy?
She's
No,
about to say it. She was literally about to say it. Listen with your ears, not your mouth.
Why do you talk like
can I-
this? Oh my god.
Can I
You know what?
can I
That was
say
a
real
pretty
quick
good
about-
first
Mind you,
Not
I
gonna
just
lie.
want everyone to know this is a 50-year-old man
41.
on a panel with
41.
a 19-year-old arguing like he's my age.
Yeah, 40, 41
That's the
years old.
crazy part.
No, he just,
You know what
you guys
50-year-olds
wanted to ask-
usually
you asked
do?
50 and
You
dog
guys
years.
asked him why he stated what he stated, and he was able to present why he stated what he stated. You might not agree with
That
it.
doesn't take away
That
like
doesn't
any of
make
the
him
other.
a good person.
They
I'm not
actually
saying
Yeah,
that.
that's
you
right.
understand they
That
don't even
doesn't take away-
understand.
that
They don't
doesn't
even
take away
understand
from
what
other
was said.
things he said.
Wait,
What other things? I'm waiting to hear. What is your critique of any of my
You
positions?
believing that it's
Okay, so this is why. See, they brought up the whole age gap nonsense and stuff. You see, Wilson didn't say it's ethical for a 50-year-old to date an 18-year-old and stuff. He challenged the inconsistency that progressive who claim that 18-year-olds are wise to enough to go ahead and vote. Well, I'm getting ahead of myself. Just listen to it in the clip.
ethical for you or any 50-year-old man, 'cause I'm pretty sure you're married, for a 50-year-old man to be with a freshly 18.
Well, no, actually, you have it in reverse again because you just don't understand what my logical reasoning is. I've never made the claim that I think that that's ethical. Rather, my claim is just that progressives who claim that all morality is relative and that 18-year-olds should be able to vote really shouldn't have a leg to stand on who an 18-year-old should be allowed to date
I
if
don't
they
think
can have a
18-year-olds
say
should
in.
vote either, so
Yeah,
now
I know.
what?
Do you see my point
Yeah,
then?
he's talking about us like
Do
we're
you
these
like? Do you? But do
progressives.
you
I'm not-
understand my
he
point
writes
then?
that to
To
every
them.
progressive, and then he categorizes them.
Yeah,
and
but do
says,
you
"Oh,
understand my
because they
point
think
then?
that, they all think that.
Do you understand my
They should
point
be able to
then?
vote until they're 25.
Yeah, do you
Andrew,
understand? Do you
Andrew,
understand
are
though
you-
that who I'm arguing with are people who claim that 18-year-olds
Yeah,
should be
but
able to
why are you-
vote, but
Okay,
shouldn't
so
be able to
now
date who they
argue with
want?
Me and
Yeah,
tell me
why are
why
you-
Yeah, but we have to start with my
position.
actual position first to argue with you. Do you
So
under-
say your position.
I
bro.
just did. I just said I've never made the claim that that is ethical or unethical. Rather, that if it is the case that the opposition I'm arguing with claims that an 18-year-old should be able to help assist in running the country, that they can't date who they want, that makes no sense.
cheaper.
Again, I never.
So yeah, like I was trying to say before, he didn't say that it's ethical for a 50-year-old to date an 18-year-old. He said that basically he just challenged the inconsistencies that the left who claim 18-year-olds are wise enough to vote and shape, national policy, but too immature to date who they choose. You see, if you're going to argue that 18-year-olds have full moral agency, well, then you can't just turn and say that they're helpless victims when it comes to personal choices. That's the hypocrisy he was pointing out. And again, they had no response. So this is why Andrew Wilson continues to trigger the woke left, and he holds up a mirror, and they hate what they see. They're not used to people pushing back. They want debates where everyone claps for them, no matter how incoherent their Point taught. But Andrew Wilson doesn't play that game. He's not afraid to challenge the double standards, call out contradictions, and refuse to be coerced by dishonest framing. It's not about, being edgy. It's simply about being intellectually honest, even when it's uncomfortable. Okay, so basically, Andrew Wilson didn't just win this debate, he actually exposed the liberal playbook, emotional outrage, bad faith edits, deflection, and more posturing and stuff, all they have. But facts, logic, and principled conviction still matter. Now, whether it's about America's legacy, the voting age, or media manipulation, Andrew Wilson stuck to his guns, and even though they tried to shout him down, they couldn't answer the questions that Andrew Wilson asked, disprove his points, or match his composure. And that right there says it all. So let me know your thoughts on this in the comments below, and I'll see you on the next one.